Hi everyone, Jackie here with Enjoying Life's Journey. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another weekly paycheck to paycheck budget with me. We are going to budget out our very first paycheck for February, which happens to be February 1st. So that's pretty cool. Let's jump on our Excel sheet and get started. If you're not familiar with the channel, I follow Dave Ramsey's zero-based budgeting, his $3 budgeting or your cash flow planning. And so what that basically means is that we take what our income is for the month and we tell every dollar where to go, so then eventually there's a zero. That doesn't mean we don't have any money. That doesn't mean that there's not a buffer in the bank account. That just means we've told every dollar where to go. I also budget out every single paycheck, which for us is Friday. My husband gets direct deposit on Friday. Myself, I'm self-employed, so I can get paid on the 10th or the 22nd or every Friday as well. So I just do mine on Fridays. It makes it easy for us just to do it on the same day. So that's what we do. So then what we do is we go through on a weekly basis and budget out, tell every dollar where to go, make sure the bills are paid for at least 2 weeks ahead of time, or that the money's in the account for the auto drafts to come out. Things like that. So within these videos, I kind of walk you through, my process of how I'm dividing the money up, and then we balance our accounts on the side here, so we know what money is in what account and what it is for. Our income is kind of what Dave Ramsey calls an irregular income, because of my husband's overtime. That fluctuates every week, so we don't know for sure what his overtime pay will be every week. And then myself being self-employed, we don't know. So Dave Ramsey recommends that if you have an irregular income, you still can budget. You're gonna budget as the best that you can with the amount of money that you foresee, and you might do things in a slightly different order because you're going to take care of, you might list, what are the top priorities, what needs to be taken care of no matter what. That could be, your rent or your mortgage, your electricity, your food, your transportation, those type of things. So then you might budget and make sure those things are taken care of first, and then if you make less than ideally at least those are taken care of. So that's how that works out for us. My husband's base pay is $7.40 a week, so basically $18.50 an hour for 40 hours a week. So that's his base pay. So we know our necessities can be taken care of if he had no overtime and I didn't bring anything in. So we know we can handle that. In addition, we know that we can continue with our investing that we want to do. The things that would change might be our savings and our fund. Okay, but for the most part, we know everything's taken care of with our base amount. So I just wanted to bring that up because I haven't brought that up before, and so that's another reason why it's important for us to budget out every single paycheck, because they're not all the same. So it does make a difference for us. So let's go ahead and go down and see what we did. So when I budgeted originally, I thought my husband had 4 hours of overtime. It actually turned out they had 6 hours of overtime. So that's nice. It was actually a little more than we planned. So $166.50. You see here is like color code things. So when I'm planning ahead, it's in the red. Once it's happened, it becomes black or orange. So black means that that's the set amount. That number will not change. Pretty much that's set. If it's orange, that means it's money that we have, but it's currently in the process of being spent. Okay, doesn't mean it's completely gone. If we've moved something into savings, we make it black, so we tell our brain the money's gone. For our 401k, I mentioned this in our monthly plan that we are going to start increasing our investments by 1% every single month, so we can make it to 15% by the end of the year. So for February, we're doing 6%, and this is calculated before taxes. So this is another reason I started calculating our taxes, was so I could calculate what some of these numbers were before taxes. So I wanted to see what our income was before taxes, because we're investing 6% before taxes. Also, our emergency fund, we want to invest 10% of our income before taxes, like the amount. We want 10% of the amount before taxes. That way we're really helping ourselves out. So for this paycheck, it ended up being $54.39. And that's black because that gets put into his 401k automatically from his employer. And then our emergency fund, because 10% of the 906 is actually $90.65. And this is black because I've already transferred it to our savings account. In the future, we are going to make this 10% savings automatic through my husband's direct deposit. So the next time he goes to his HR department, which I believe will probably be next Wednesday, he's going to get a new direct deposit form. So we're going to say 10% of his income we want to go into this savings account, and then the rest will go into our regular checking account. So then taxes. Now, a big reason I started taking note of taxes was to see where was all the money actually going. Now, some of these things we may not necessarily have that much control over, like Medicare and Social Security, but things like federal and state, you do have control over how much is withheld. And I really encourage people with the federal, if you're getting a big refund back, go on the IRS website, do their withholding calculator, and see how many allowances you should be claiming so that you keep more of your paychecks now. So with that, we used to claim 2 on my husband's taxes. Now we claim 8. So no federal was taken out with this paycheck. Arizona was $15.34. Medicare was $13.15. And Social Security was $56.20. I did have a viewer ask me how can we basically not pay that, and like I mentioned, it all has to do with our withholdings. So the things that they're calculating, when you put in that calculator, you know, how much you're going to make for the year, how much have you paid in taxes already, are you filing married, filing jointly, how many dependents do you have? We're in the income bracket to qualify for the earned income credit, and we have 2 dependents. So that's about $5,000 for the year. That gets, it's like a credit towards the taxes that we would owe. We also qualify for the child tax credit, which is $2,000, I believe. I don't know if it's per child or I think it's $1,000 each, so maybe $2,000. That's applied as well. So we, even when we don't pay too much in taxes, we still end up getting money back. This year we're actually going to be getting some money back. My husband, we're going to do his $100 right now, and that's orange because that's money that's there. It's in the bank. Giving, we're going to go ahead and do the whole $150 right now. We do have a birthday party to go to next weekend, and then my daughter's birthday is on the 15th, so we're going to be doing a birthday party for her. Family, life insurance, and long-term disability. This comes out of my husband's check automatically as well. So that is $5.59, and then $3.26. So that's black because that's already out of the account. Moving on down to some of our other necessities here. So if you notice, I have some areas that are open. So that is a visual to me knowing these are going to be covered out of this paycheck. These are going to be covered out of that paycheck. These will be covered out of the last 2 paychecks. So that way I know. And how I'm basing that off of, one, the due dates. I look at when we get paid versus the due date. And I want to have that money in the account a few weeks before it's actually due. And then things like groceries and gas, we usually split it up between the 2 weeks. So that's what I'm going to do with groceries. I'm going to split it in half. We budget $84 a week. We count Friday as the beginning of our week because we get paid Friday. I do grocery shopping Friday. So if there's 4 Fridays in the month, I budget $336. If there's 5 Fridays in the month, I budget $420. Weeks, we might spend less than $84. And then this week, you'll see I actually spent more than that. So we kind of make up for it. But for the most part, that's what we do. So we're going to do $168. My husband's cell phone will be due. That's one of the first bills that's coming up. So we're going to make sure we have that money put aside now. The water, we actually already have the money from January waiting for the water. Car gas, motorcycle gas, we're going to split this up. We're going to say 75, 25. And then now my husband's motorcycle maintenance, he said he might need more than $25. So let me finish doing what I'm doing here and then we'll come back. So what we're going to do for my daughter's pay, they can earn their age every week. So my oldest is 7. She'll be 8 in the middle of the month. My youngest is 4. So we're going to split it up. We're going to have their money for 2 weeks and then 2 weeks. We're going to say $14 and $8. And then for fun, or our fun part of eating out, I think we're going to gradually increase this. I was originally budgeting $25 a week. I'm going to bump it up to $30 a week. So I'm going to say $60. So we have 2 weeks worth of our eating out money, and then the next paycheck will cover the rest. So if you see down here, I have $32.92. I still need to tell it where to go, and that's where I'm going to put it in the motorcycle maintenance. If my husband still needs more than that, what I'll end up doing is I'll use it out of some of the gift money, and then I'll do the gifts out of the next paycheck because I'll still have some time before my daughter's birthday. So that's kind of how that process works. Like I mentioned, it's zero-based budgeting, meaning that we've told every dollar where to go. It doesn't necessarily mean that our bank account ever hits zero and that we don't plan for miscellaneous things. So if you feel more comfortable and you need to have, you know, miscellaneous or something like that, then you can always just add it into your budget here and just say, okay, miscellaneous, you know, $50. So you have a $50 thing. Or what I used to do is I used to call it a rollover. So I'd say, okay, I had $50 rollover. So then next month, if I had any of that left over, I would just roll it over to the next month. So that's kind of, you know, those are some options to do if you don't feel comfortable telling every dollar into a specific category. Now we're going to balance these checkbooks on the side here. These are all of the accounts that I have at our bank. So our income account, this is a checking account that our direct deposit goes into. So my husband's direct deposit goes into there. When I pay myself from self-employment, it goes into this account. From there, some of the money will stay in there as part of our cash, like groceries. Some other things go into our necessities. Now this is our checking account for all of the bills. They have a specific due date. Everything, all of our bills are set up on an automatic withdrawal. So everything gets paid on the day it's due. I just make sure the money is in this checking account at least 2 paychecks before it would be taken out. So that way I'm way ahead of, you know, I'm not accidentally spending the money. We have our fun checking account, our eating out money, our movie money, our date night movie money. That goes into the fun account so we don't accidentally spend groceries or something on our fun. My husband has his own checking account, and I have my own checking account. Mine, honestly, is zero. I don't even use it. We bank with Ally Bank, and you can have accounts at zero. You do not get charged. You can have as many accounts as you want. There's no fees or anything like that, so that's why we have several accounts. My husband's 401k, that is outside of our bank. That's with a different company. And then we have 3 savings accounts. So I have our emergency fund savings, our sinking fund savings, so saving for bigger purchases like our vacation and a car and things like that. And then we have our girls fund. So every time our girls make money from us, half of that we put into a savings account for them, and then they can spend the other half. So the half that's in the savings account is for them for saving and for giving, however they want to. You know, we can help them with that as they're getting older. Also, when they get like a good chunk of money for Christmas or their birthday or something like that, we'll put half in savings and then they can spend the other half. That's kind of what we've started doing with them. Basically what I do then, I budget so I know what's going where, and then I log onto my bank account and I move the money around the way it's supposed to be. Like I mentioned, the emergency fund, right now I have to manually move it, and that takes a lot of discipline and a lot of willpower to do that. So we are, like I said, we are going to start making that to come out automatically. So that's why I want to budget for that out of each paycheck. If you've watched previous videos, I wouldn't budget that in until maybe the end of the month, and then we usually end up falling short every single time. So this time I did transfer it into savings right away. So let me update this number. So our emergency fund is up to $2,645.26. So we're looking good there. Our goal is $12,000. We're going to try to reach that number by the end of the year. My projection, though, is looking like we might reach 10,000 by the end of the year, so stay tuned. We'll have to see how we do. Moving down, my husband's $100 is actually in his checking account now, so we have $100 in there. All right, so this is how much we have technically for giving. So if it starts growing, I'll end up putting it, so this month right now, like I said, we have my daughter's birthday party and we have another birthday party to go to. We're also getting our haircut tomorrow, so part of this is the tip money for our haircut as well. So once that's spent, if there's anything left over, we will move it into the sinking fund savings account until the next birthday or occasion that comes. And then moving on down to groceries. So I would say we have $168. However, I just went grocery shopping and I spent $96.51. So I have $71.49 in there. The first shopping trip of the month, I spend more because we're stocking up on things like eggs, That lasts us usually the whole month because we buy the pack of 60 eggs. So I usually I'm buying some things that are either once a month or maybe only it will last 2 weeks at a time. So usually that first shopping trip is a little bit more than the rest. So that means I have for the next week, I'll only have $71.49 to spend on the shopping trip. Personal care, we still had $60 in there. Like I said, it's for our haircut, so that's for tomorrow. That will be coming out. Now, the $35 for my husband's cell phone, that we put into our necessities checking account. So let me balance this out real quick as well as we go down. So our necessities bank account, our mortgage, and extra principal payment, one that came out of January for February has officially come out of the account. So I want to delete these so I know that those are out of the account now because we're balancing our checkbook. Okay, so we had water, sewer, trash. It's due on the 10th. We had it from January to pay. So we have $67.37 in there right now. We still had $25.49 left of gas money. I believe I have to kind of double check something. We use our Discover card to purchase our gas and like eating out usually, and then that way we can get the 2% cash back. So I do need to look on the card and see if we've spent the $24.49. I'm not sure yet, because if, I'll have to go pay that bill if we have to. Otherwise, I'm just going to add the 75 to that for now. All right, and this is a similar thing to the giving. I had a little bit of money left from January, say there was $5 that I didn't spend, then I'm going to move it into the sinking funds saving account, and I'm actually going to line that up with, say, car maintenance or something like that. So, and then coming down the same thing with the motorcycle gas, we still had $35 in the necessities account to pay for it. So I have to double check on the Discover card and see what I have left to pay off. If there's anything left, it will go in the sinking fund savings account. Otherwise, we're just going to add this to it real quick. 55.35 is what we have. I mentioned that our insurance, the motorcycle insurance, did not come out on the 28th like it normally does. But I was also, our insurance renewed for the year. And it said that we were going to have $48 coming out. So I think what they ended up doing was they didn't charge the last month, and then they double charge, to kind of make up for that. So we still have $21.16 in there. Now I may go ahead and just pay the full year, which is $227 for the year, and that would actually save us $3 a month, because that should only be $18 for a month, and we're paying $21 a month because we're paying a $3 service fee for them to do a monthly transaction. Motorcycle maintenance, that is still in the income account. My husband can use that when he needs to. And then the girls' money is in the income account till they earn it. Once they earn it, like I said, half of it goes into their account. So if you can see over here, like I mentioned before, so I have our emergency fund here. Sinking funds, we don't have anything in the sinking funds right now. The girls' fund, they do have some. So my oldest has $34.82 right now. My youngest has $29. So once they make something over here, half of that would end up going into their savings account here. And then I will either wait till it accumulates enough to take cash out, or they can pick things out at the store and then I just use the debit card. It kind of just depends. Here's on the side here, if you guys missed it, the due date and the scheduled date. So these are the things that have specific due dates. Like I said, they come out automatically on those dates. I want to make sure I have the money in the account well before those dates. And then I have this goals part here. So you could write goals if you have a specific goal amount. So for instance, like our emergency fund, our goal is $12,000. So I could say that's what it is. And it's orange because we're working on that goal. We still have the $140 in the income account for filing with TurboTax. We haven't officially finished yet. I'm still waiting for a 1099 for my travel from my host agency, and then my husband's still waiting for one last W-2. So we just, that's sitting there patiently. And then the YMCA, I believe it should have come out. Today's the 1st. It should come out today. So I'll have to just log back on and see by the end of the day if it's come out. Otherwise, it's ready to pay for the month. So that's what we have. So our income account has $611 in it. Our necessities account has almost $80 in it. I have to keep track of progress. My husband's 401k is up to $1,104, which is awesome. I do a monthly net worth progress report on my channel as well. So if you want to see how our overall net worth is panning out please take a look at that. We'll be posting that in the next couple weeks here. And then our emergency fund is up to $2,645, and then my daughter's money combined is at $63.82. So like I said, even though I zero-based budget, I tell everything where to go and it's a zero here, that doesn't mean that my accounts are necessarily at zero. All right, and my husband has $100. Thanks for joining me for another Paycheck to Paycheck budget. I will see you next Friday. As always, thanks for watching. Bye.